What's good, everybody? Hope you guys are doing good. So we're back today for another video. In case you guys aren't already aware, this is my Twitter page. If you're not already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe and follow, all that good stuff. The fun never ends. Right now we're at 426 followers, growing pretty quick here. If you have any video requests, any questions, any comments, this is a good place to put it. I check pretty regularly, and I put my dividend payments up here when I get them so you guys can see the power of dividends. Over time, you collect, you reinvest, and that's how you can grow. Okay, let's begin the video. Alright guys, so I have been watching the news like crazy, paying attention to the markets, seeing what is going on. Every day we got a lot of craziness, guys, okay? Until the election is over, and even when the election is over, I'm predicting a lot of craziness, a lot of uncertainty, so you gotta kind of be on it. And luckily, I did the research, so you don't have to. Now, the second check everyone keeps on talking about. I'm still hearing a lot from both sides, so let's see what we got here. GOP shrugs off Trump's call for higher offer on bug aid. So yeah, Trump wants more aid. Obviously, he wants to get reelected. He wants to look good, so he wants to get people more money in their hands and also make sure the economy is still propped up pretty nicely when he is having his reelection campaign. Alright, so he wants to go for a bigger one than the 1,200 that we got for most people. All the key players entrenched in the impasse over the bug rescue package focused their energy on finger pointing and gamesmanship, even as political nervousness was on the rise among Democrats. These guys are just pointing fingers. Go for the much higher numbers, Republicans, Trump tweeted. The smaller bill, so there was that small bill for about $500 billion that was recently proposed from the Republicans. Trump criticized did not include $300 billion for a second round of Trump-endorsed stimulus checks, which the White House said is a top priority. So that's good. Trump wants to give us another check. We'll take all the checks we can get. When the president was referring to was the $500 billion bill that passed the Senate, it didn't include direct payments. He wants more than the $500 billion, and he's very keen to see these direct stimulus payments. And everybody's favorite Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, what did she say? Any deal will have to include far more than just another set of Trump checks and a handful of other priorities. All they want is to have the president's name on the check going out. That's all he really cares about. We have to do more than just have the Republican check a box. So there you have it, guys. We still have issues on both sides. The bipartisan spirit that birthed a $2 trillion package in March has evaporated, so that's basically gone. Many Republicans cite defeat, deficits, and debt are simply wary of another Pelosi brokered deal. As the talks progressed, Democrats made their proposal smaller, moving away from Democrats. So that first proposal that was passed is basically done. It's fish out of water. Forget about it. This is from the Chicago Tribune. Let's continue on here, see what else we got. And as you guys can see up here in the headlines, the bug in Illinois, almost 2,000 people. So the issue with the bug is not really going anywhere anytime soon, and we're going to the holidays, so we can expect we probably might have a resurgence and potentially other bugs that are going to come during the winter time. Alright, this is from Forbes. Second check in limbo as IRS. What happened to the headline? Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. In limbo as IRS urges $9 million to claim first payment. So there you have it. Looks like a bunch of people still haven't got their first checks. So you're going to have a second check if the first check hasn't gone out. That makes sense. Now let's continue on here. Let's see. Letters are expected to be mailed around September 24th. A copy of the letter is available online via the IRS to help recipients distinguish it from a potential fraud. The CARES Act, as we know, had the $1,200 payment. And yeah, anything in the mail, you got to be extra careful nowadays. There's a lot of scammers out there and all that good stuff. Time is running out to register for a stimulus check if you didn't file federal income tax. To remind you, do so by October 15th deadline. The IRS is prepping to mail letters to about 9 million people who may be eligible to get an economic impact payment. So that's important. If you guys didn't file your taxes, you need an extension. October 15th is the day you got to file, or else you're going to be in hot water. So you got about a month. Figure it out. Let's continue on here. Non-filers must register for a payment through the IRS. So that IRS portal website, if you need to get your check, click on the portal and then it will give you directions for what you have to do. It's kind of funky, but hopefully now, because most people have got it, it's easier and you don't have to wait as long and it doesn't really lag out. Those were issues that a lot of people were having. You can file a return electronically and most likely for free to expedite your eligibility determination. But keep in mind, you may be responsible for late fees or penalties if you owe taxes for 2019. Yeah, taxes and penalties, not fun. Avoid them. Pay on time. Let's continue. The IRS has issued about 160 million economic impact payments since distribution began in April. The agency reported. Okay, let's continue on. This is from the Chicago Tribune again. Now I want to subscribe to their letters. Let's continue on here. All right, so this is a little bit different. So Pelosi says House to stay in session until lawmakers deliver the bug rescue package. This was delivered on us the 15th of September, yesterday. So it was fresh off the press by Andrew Taylor, Associated Press. Let's continue on. 28 of the biggest corporations battered by the bug. You can go through them. I mean, a lot of companies have been hit really hard. President Trump parachuted into the bug aid debate Wednesday, today, upbraiding his Republican allies for proposal too small of a check and encouraging both parties to go for a bigger one, which includes his $1,200 priority. So that's good. At least he's saying that it's a priority, and that way the senators hopefully have in the back of their mind that, yeah, people want another check, and it's re-election year. So what else do you have to say more than that? That's all you really need to say about that. We are committed to staying here until we have an agreement that meets the needs of the American people, Nancy Pelosi has stated. Moderate Democrats, many from whom won by President Trump 4 years ago, signed on to a $1.5 trillion package endorsed by a bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus, a group of about 50 lawmakers who seek common solutions to issues. I like that. That seems like a good idea. Common solutions to issues. Yeah, we need to get both sides to come together and figure out what they're going to do. Let's continue on here. Let's see what else we got here. All right. My sense is the clock is running out. Senate GOP Whip John Thune of South Dakota. I don't see any intention or desire on the part of the Democrat leadership at the moment, regardless of what their members are saying, to cooperate and work together on a solution. I think they feel they've got the issue and they want to write it in November. As leadership talk collapsed, some moderate Democrats have been agitating for greater compromise. So there you go. This is how Congress is supposed to work. A member of the Problem Solvers group, describing a lengthy bipartisan negotiation that produced consensus. The group hopes that packages illustrate the kind of compromise that top Democrats and the admin would hope to have in order to get to a measure that both sides can agree on and to sign it into law. So there's a lot more. We're not going to go over all this. I think you guys get the idea. Mnuchin, everyone's favorite, chairman of the Fed? My bad, Treasury Secretary, that's his official name. Mnuchin said, more checks needed, don't worry about the deficit. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, okay? I believe fully in transparency. I'm not an economist, so I'm not sure about how the deficit's going to affect the economy, to what extent, and how long it's going to take to pay it off, and all that good stuff in detail. I have no idea. I just know deficits probably aren't what you want in your economy. But however, let's continue here. Okay, Mnuchin on Monday described a great rebound that is going on. There are clearly areas of the economy that still need support, and the fear over adding to national debt shouldn't prevent Congress from passing another bill. Okay, here we go, guys. You know me. I like the facts. Let's go over the facts here. Mnuchin reiterated that he and the president are both in favor of more support for the economy, and he singled out hotels, travel, small business, and restaurants as sectors that will likely need more government help. Yeah, do you guys remember? I think it was a few months ago, Trump was saying a potential credit for travel. I wonder if that's part of the bill. What happened to that? Because I'm waiting for my travel, and I'm going to wait on that. If I get some credit, I might travel somewhere. I don't know. We'll see. One of the fundamental factors of the breakdown in the stimulus negotiation over the last week and months have been the price tag. Democrats, led by Nancy Pelosi, have pushed for more broad spending, while the White House GOP worry of running up the national debt and the Federal Reserve balance sheet push for a more targeted bill. Mnuchin backed against the conservative position Monday, saying that now is not the time to worry about the deficit. Okay, the big number here, $3.3 trillion. That's how high the Congressional Budget Office expects the federal deficit to be this year. Wow, that's a lot. Direct result of historic economic stimulus spending for the first time since World War II, the national debt is expected to exceed the entire size of the U.S. economy for the next fiscal year. Wow, that is insane, guys. So there you go. National debt bigger than the economy for the next year, fiscal year. Yes, we're in tough times, guys. We're officially tough times. Last week, Republicans introduced a skinny package worth about $650 billion, with $300 billion of money appropriated for new spending and another $350 billion repurposed from earlier relief funds after weeks of meeting with Democrats. So they're predicting aid won't come after the November election, if it comes at all. Okay, so there you guys have it. Even Mnuchin, he wants more checks as well. Now let's kind of switch gears here about the election polls. As I've mentioned before, if you guys recall, all the polls said that Hillary was up by a landslide. It was going to be game over, Trump should just drop out, and the next thing you know, Trump wins. Now, what I'm reading is some of the polls are saying that Trump leads in some areas, and they're not by overly conservative websites either, or publishers, I should say. So that's kind of interesting. This one says Trump 2020 election polls. Trump's poll lead with Florida's Hispanic voters disappears. All right. Polls showed Tuesday Joe Biden boasting a solid lead in the battleground states of North Carolina, Florida, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. Continue on here. The key facts. Let's go over the facts. A Monmouth University poll of voters in Florida conducted September 10th or 15th in a survey of 428 voters found Biden ahead of Trump by 5 points. A positive result for the Democratic nominee, who has led by just 1.6 points on average in the states. The polls showed Biden winning Hispanic voters in the state by a whopping 26 points. Trump is narrowly leading among seniors in the Sunshine State, but in 2016, Trump won seniors in Florida by 17 points. CNN polls released Tuesday show Biden ahead among likely voters in North Carolina by 3 points and Wisconsin. So there you have it, guys. It seems like the numbers are very, very tight. They're close. Polls have consistently shown Biden struggling with Hispanic voters in Florida, which makes up a large portion of the population. Now that segues in here nicely. Let me see. I think I had an article about it here somewhere. There we go. This was the one. Okay, guys. So Biden has not been doing so well with the Hispanic voters, right? Now, I don't know if you guys have heard. This might be a little bit controversial. So if you got kids or it's controversial, you don't like controversy stuff, you can kind of fast forward for a minute or two here. Whisper in your ear. Latinos for Trump highlights Biden touching allegations with Despacito lyrics. Okay, guys, I'll be completely honest. I heard about this. I thought it was a joke. I thought people were making a meme or like a TikTok video or something. So apparently, Biden went to a rally and he was playing Despacito on his phone. And it wasn't a joke, guys. It was serious. It really happened. Let me see if it says, okay, Wednesday, Latinos for Trump, a group rallying Latino support for Republican President Trump. Re-election released a video that uses 2019 Despacito to highlight allegations of inappropriate touching by Joe Biden. So they released a video, I guess. I didn't see the video. But apparently the video is showing Biden inappropriately touching, and then he had a press conference or some type of rally or something, and I saw he was playing the Despacito song too. So very interesting times we are living, and as you can see, it's Eva Longoria, co-founder of the Latino Victory PAC, and then U.S. Vice President Joe Biden after speaking. I'm not an expert, guys, but is this kind of weird or is it just me? I think it's kind of weird, but I'll let you guys decide. Remember, we are a neutral reporting right here. This is neutral. I'm just giving you guys one aspect of what might come back and haunt Biden with the Hispanic voters or voters in general and how they feel in it. All right, so this is what he said. In a 2019 video, Biden said, social norms have begun to change. Oh, you know what? Actually, I have seen this video because I remember him saying that. Social norms have begun to change, and he pledged to be more mindful of women's personal space, though he stopped short of apologizing for his past behavior. I hear what they're saying. I understand it. I'll be much more mindful. That's my responsibility. I'll meet it. Biden said in a video. At least 15 women have accused Trump of inappropriate touching and sexual misconduct since 1970. So Trump has his own accusers as well. Now Biden has accusers as well. So they're both, I guess, kind of even on that. Now, I don't know how much of it's legitimate, what is going to the courts. I don't know the details. However, both sides have had inappropriate touching accusations. So there's that. Everyone who keeps saying that, oh, Biden has this or Trump has this, look, both sides have things that have been alleged. Okay, let's move on. Now, here we go, guys. So this is the poll I was looking at. Trump leads Biden by 7%. St. Louis University. I'm telling you guys, depending on the polls, we don't really know. If the election for president of the United States were being held today, who would you vote for? About 50% Trump, 43% Biden, other unsure. Joe Biden leads Trump rather comfortably in national polling. Biden also leads Trump in most of the battleground states. However, the poll here, Trump with a rather comfortable lead in Missouri among voters 50 to Biden's 43. Missouri was once touted as the best bellwether state during the 1900s, but Missouri has been trending red. President Trump's approval rating. Do you approve or disapprove of how Trump is doing? Most strongly disapprove. Do you approve of how he's handled the bug? Most strongly disapprove. See, guys, things are very confusing because how would you have Trump over Biden, yet the polls show that they mostly disapprove of what he's been doing? Again, one state, one poll, something to keep in mind. Now, let's transition here to the stock market. What the heck has happened? Guys, it's been crazy. Again, I know I say this a lot, but I say it a lot to reiterate it. You cannot time the market, guys. It can't happen. September 11th was on Friday. Today is the 16th. And look at this. The markets have been pretty steady. Nothing crazy. They went up, and then they had minor dips and up and minor dips. But overall, they're trending back to kind of where they were. Now, something that came out of this that was really important. I don't know if you guys have heard, but I don't have the article here. You guys can look into it yourself. Basically, keeping it very short, the Fed promised low interest rates for a few more years, which means banks can borrow cheap, which means hopefully when we get the loan, it's going to remain relatively cheap, historically speaking. So that's something to keep in mind if you're going to make a purchase, buy a house, you need a loan, go talk to an expert, see your financial situation. It's not financial advice. I'm not telling you to invest or get this or do that, but go talk to somebody because you could potentially get a good deal on a loan if you need a loan. Dow Jones as well, as you guys can see, it's in the green from September 11th to now. Pretty steady as well. Not a whole lot of movement. Now the last thing. Okay, the Travis Scott burger. We cannot leave without talking about this thing. Now, I don't eat fast food too much, right? As you guys, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I'm trying to be pretty healthy. I try to work out regularly, eat pretty clean. I have fast food once in a while, I'll be honest. But I haven't had McDonald's in a very long time. I just don't really prefer McDonald's. That's me personally. I like to invest in them. I don't like to eat their food too much. Now, the Travis Scott burger, okay? I don't watch TikTok too much either, but on TikTok, all you see is videos of people going to the drive-thrus, and I can't imagine working at McDonald's with employees, what they're going through. But the point is this. Look at McDonald's stock. This is the part that's crazy. So this burger came out on September 8th, right? Now here's the McDonald's chart. I'm going to go back. Let's go about a month. And by the way, right now McDonald's is $224, almost $225. 52-week high, $226. So we are almost at McDonald's all-time highs with their stock. And if this thing loads, here we go. Had it. Okay. September 8th, right? This is when the burger dropped. It was at $213, and now look at this. It's been continually going up. Now, let's be honest here. It may happen to be just a correlation that McDonald's drops the Travis Scott burger and the McDonald's stock goes up. It could be a correlation, but I'm gonna say it's probably somewhat of a causation that this thing, the promotion people are going through and purchasing. And like I said, I don't eat fast food, but with everything I'm saying, it is very, very tempting to get one of those burgers and try it out. I'm not going to, but it's very, very tempting to do it. And yeah, that just shows you guys, if you want to learn marketing, you don't need to go to university. Just study what this Travis Scott meal has done, and then you'll understand marketing, how it works. And it will be available, I think it was beginning of October, so October 4th, or that first week. So if you want to get one of these burgers, now might be a decent time. Stock market's going up. Disclaimer, I do own McDonald's. This is not investing advice. Always speak to an expert. Do your own research. Now, why is this so interesting, guys? I'm going to end it with this because I want to end it on a happy note. I think that's all I got, right? Oh, I got a couple more things. But as far as the Travis Scott burger, the promotion is so popular, it's causing quarter pounder shortages. Yes, you heard it. Quarter pounder shortages. Now I got a funny joke for you guys. They're not so funny. What do they call a quarter pounder with cheese in France? What do they call it? All right, I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds. Okay. They call it a Royale with cheese. Alright, if you don't know that reference, let me know in the comments below. What am I referring to? Some key points here. McDonald's collaboration with Travis Scott is causing ingredient shortage for some restaurants trying to keep up with demand. The meal comes with a quarter-pounder burger with cheese, bacon, and lettuce, Sprite soda, fries dipped in barbecue sauce for just $6. McDonald's is temporarily controlling supply of some of the required ingredients to make sure the meal remains available nationwide. So yeah, there are shortages with the quarter-pounder because everyone's buying this thing. When have you heard the last time McDonald's has had a shortage? I have not, so something's got to be doing right. And the last thing I got for you guys is Snowflake. No, we're not talking about snowflakes. We're talking about the Snowflake, the stock. This is from CNN Business. Snowflake shares more than double in the biggest software IPO ever. In case you guys don't know, IPO is initial public offering. So it's the first day that Snowflake shares are purchasable for the public, and it's the biggest ever today. And I do not, like I said, this is not financial advice, not investing advice. For me personally, I don't get into IPOs. That's just me. But why is this thing going crazy? This is why. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway, they invested in the IPO. So that's why. And I don't know, I think he can tell us the details here of how much he put into it. I mean, his organization put, it's a couple $1 million or something. Buffett. Here we go. Perfect. Got it. Berkshire Hathaway would each buy $250 million in Snowflake stock in a private placement following the IPO. So there you have it. $250 million into Snowflake stock, and the stock has gone up pretty drastically. I think yeah, there you go. Afternoon, it went to above $300 for 150% gain. So if you invested in Snowflake stock, it went up 150%. You would have had some nice gains if you had done that. But like I said, I had heard about this. I knew that Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway was going to invest in this thing. But like I said, I have a strategy. I fit my strategy with what works for me, and IPOs don't work for me. And a lot of the times, these things, as quick as they go up, they will drop just as fast a lot of times. But like I said, do your own research, talk to an expert, see what works for you. And yeah, so that's what I have for you guys for today. Like I said, a lot has gone on, and these are just the key things that I saw in the finance market that I thought you guys could know. And I did the research so you guys don't have to. That's about it for now. Alright guys, thank you for watching. In case you're not already subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, give it a like. Until next time, peace.